I built my dream gaming PC with no experience at all and got insane FPS.
So here is all the parts I'm gonna be using for this insane gaming PC build. And all the parts of this build is coming from a company called Be Quiet. And Be Quiet is basically a German computer components company that basically just makes silent products with premium quality. So with all these parts coming from Be Quiet, this is gonna be a sleek and silent PC build. By the end of me actually building this thing, the PC is actually gonna look really, really nice. I'm actually really excited. You guys can see all the parts coming from Be Quiet is looking really, really nice. These fans look absolutely insane. And obviously we have more stuff from the company. So this is gonna be an insane build. Okay, so first starting off, we have the motherboard for this PC, which is like the first thing you should assemble when you're building a gaming PC. But before I even start like building this PC though, just to let you guys know, I haven't actually touched and built a PC in like over a year. And this is only like my third time ever building a PC. So honestly, I am still a huge beginner with like building PCs and stuff. This honestly is still considered like a beginner's build since I'm kind of just going in this raw without having any knowledge at all. But we're gonna go ahead and see how far I can go. Right here, as you guys can see, we have the B550 motherboard. And then inside the box, it also has like the Wi-Fi antenna things, which are really, really cool. I do like this. But yeah, from what I've seen online, this is a pretty good motherboard, especially for this PC build, which is kind of an expensive build. I think the total for this build will be close to around $3,000. So you guys already know this is gonna be a pretty expensive build. But yeah, here it is. We have the ROG Strix B550 motherboard. You know, nothing too crazy, but I do really like ROG motherboards. But yeah, let's go ahead and first just place the CPU inside of this motherboard, which is kind of like my most feared part of building a PC. Since if you guys don't know, if you just mess up a little bit, have like the pins bent a little bit just on the CPU, you're kind of cooked, bro. The CPU is like pretty much done. But yeah, here it is. We have this CPU that I'm gonna be using for this gaming PC build. And this is an AMD CPU. So it is my first time using an AMD CPU for a gaming PC build. I literally always just been using Intel CPUs, but this is the AMD Ryzen 9 5900X, which is a 12 core and 24 thread processor. And from what I've seen online, this is definitely a pretty good CPU. And I think this CPU paired with the GPU I wanna use for this build is gonna work out pretty good. So it is no problem at all. But yeah, here it is. You guys can see we have the AMD Ryzen 9 5900X. This thing is really fragile, so I am gonna be really careful. Handling with the CPU is literally my worst nightmare. Since both times I actually built a PC, I actually dropped the CPU. This is my third time building a PC, so hopefully I did learn from my past. I'm gonna go ahead and just try to become really careful with this. Boom, there we go. We have the CPU out. This thing actually looks really cool. And all I gotta do now is just align this arrow on the top with the one on the motherboard, which is on the top left. And let's go ahead and just carefully place that thing in just like that, being really careful with it. And actually with the motherboard, there's no like that top cover thing, which usually pops out if you pull down this lever. So that installation process was definitely really easy. We can go ahead and just put the lever down now. That was actually a lot easier than I thought. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, here it is. We have the Ryzen 9 5900X CPU installed inside this motherboard now, just like that. Pretty easy. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step in building this PC now. Now moving on, I'm gonna go ahead and install the SSD, which I have right here, which is the WD Black SN7100, which is a 2 terabyte SSD. So this is literally gonna be more than enough storage for the PC. So yeah, here it is. We have the WD Black SN7100. Now let's go ahead and open this thing up right over here. And this is basically where I'm gonna go ahead and install the SSD. Installing the SSD as well as the RAM is kind of like the easiest parts of the PC. So it's really easy to do and I have literally no worries at all about it. But once we go ahead and install like all the power supply, all the case fans, all that stuff is usually where I start to become really annoyed because it's just super annoying to actually set it up and all that. There's too many cables, all that stuff. stuff. So that's why installing like the SSD is like no problem to me at all. But yeah, there we go. We have that thing off. Now all we got to do is just install the SSD. And yeah, we can go ahead and just slide this thing in. And then we're going to go ahead and just place back this cover on. Yeah, that literally took like less than 30 seconds to actually install. I'm pretty sure just unscrewing the screws was longer than actually installing the SSD. And yeah, boom, there we go. We have the SSD installed just like that. You know, super easy, even for like a beginner PC builder like myself. But now I'm gonna go ahead and actually screw in the motherboard inside of the PC case. And if you guys are wondering why I didn't install the RAM yet, is because the RAM is actually on its way to come to me. I originally bought DDR5 RAM and it didn't work for this motherboard, so I went ahead and bought DDR4 RAM. So I'm gonna go ahead and install the RAM last, but let's go ahead and place this thing inside of the PC case now. Okay, so for the PC case in this gaming PC build, what I have over here is the Be Quiet Lightbase 900FX. And I mean, you guys can already tell this case is actually really big. It's taking up more than half the space on my desk right now. But what's really cool about this Be Quiet case is I actually heard there's different ways to actually use it. So you guys could actually lay it down flat. You guys can make it upright. There's different positions of where you can actually place the case, which is definitely really cool. So here it is. We have the PC case. And I didn't even know, but this case actually comes with pre-installed fans, which I mean is definitely really helpful. You guys can see inside this case, we have 4 pre-installed case fans already inside. Just taking a look at this case, this thing definitely looks really big. I mean, you guys could literally put anything you want inside of this PC build. But yeah, I really do love this PC case. Since I've seen online, the RGB from this case is also really bright. But this is also the first time I've ever seen a PC case come with pre-installed fans, which also definitely will help a lot since I hate installing case fans. But over here, you guys can see we have the Lightbase 900 user manual. And by the end of this PC build, we're gonna have a PC that literally looks like this. You guys can see this area on the side does have RGB, so it will come from this side over here. So yeah, once again, shout out to Be Quiet for sending over the case and all the parts needed for this build. By the end of this video, the PC build is just gonna look absolutely insane. Probably one of the best gaming PC builds I've ever made. But yeah, this build is definitely really huge. And you guys can see the airflow will definitely be pretty good since this thing is kind of like hollow with holes. Since Be Quiet is popular for having silent parts. But let's go ahead and open this thing up and we are gonna set up the motherboard inside. And just take a look inside. This thing is actually really big. These are the fans that are pre-installed inside of this case. You guys can see we have like huge RGB glows from like this circle area. And I'm pretty sure all like the cables for the fans are like really organized as well. So this is an amazing PC case because I hate installing case fans, which this case already helped us do. So shout out to Be Quiet for making such a nice PC case. And then inside we also have some other stuff from this case. I'm gonna go ahead and just figure it out as we build this PC. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and place the motherboard inside of the gaming PC case. And it should be pretty easy since there's these little nail holes. You basically just screw in accordingly with the PC case. And then go ahead and just take the screws that came with the case and screw it in. And yeah, this is also a pretty easy process as well. So far, I don't even need to use any like YouTube tutorials or anything like that since it's not too confusing. Okay, so now the motherboard is installed inside of the PC case. You guys can see the motherboard is just screwed directly into the case just like that. Now let's go ahead and install the AIO that I have for this PC. Since this PC does have these pre-installed case fans, I don't need to install the case fans that I actually have, but I do need to install the AIO from Be Quiet as well. But regardless, right now the PC build is looking really clean. All these components from Be Quiet just look really nice. And by the end of this video, this build is gonna absolutely look insane. I mean, even these pre-installed case fans from Be Quiet look really cool. But let's go ahead and set up the AIO for this PC now. And now for the AIO, what I have here is a Be Quiet light loop. And once again, since this is coming from Be Quiet, I mean, this AIO is gonna be a really silent AIO, but it's still a really cool AIO for this PC build. So let's go ahead and take a look inside. And you guys can see we have like this part over here, which should light up with RGB. As you guys can see, the fans will basically just sit right over here. And it's basically gonna be at the top of the PC. And then then inside we obviously have the 3 fans. And actually these are not the same as like the pre-installed fans from like the case. It's still gonna have some really nice RGB and the fan speed should be really fast. But first, let's go ahead and take out the AIO radiator. And all these cables are basically just gonna connect directly to the motherboard. And yeah, now we're gonna go ahead and just screw these fans right over here. As you can see, it has like these screw areas for like the fans. And yeah, this is what it should look like. So let's go ahead and just screw them all in. Okay, so now I have the fans connected to the radiator. So this entire AIO is ready to go and plugged into this PC now. And basically, I'm just gonna go ahead and place this on the top of this PC case. And it's basically just gonna go ahead and screw right in. And then from there, I'm gonna go ahead and place this on top of the CPU. And from there, we should have the AIO fully set up. All right, let's go ahead and screw on this AIO now. We're gonna go ahead and just place it on the top of this PC case. From there, we should be able to just screw this thing in. And yeah, boom, there we go. You guys can see we have this AIO fully set up now. Okay, so I have the AIO actually attached to the case now. All I gotta do is actually plug in this thing right over here onto the CPU. And I already actually screwed in the AIO brackets for the AIO. You guys can see it will attach to these pre-installed brackets. But first, I also do need to put in thermal paste for the CPU. And this Be Quiet AIO actually comes with thermal paste, so this is definitely really good. So let's go ahead and apply the thermal paste and then place the AIO inside. All right, so I literally just realized that this AIO does not actually work with this motherboard for some reason. I'm actually seeing if I could actually place it onto this motherboard, but you guys can see the screws literally do not align. You guys can see literally the screws cannot go right where the brackets are. It's like a really short screw, and you guys can see it barely even reaches. And then not to mention this bottom bracket doesn't even work with this AIO as well. I'm literally gonna leave the AIO how it is right now. If I can't find a solution to this AIO, I'm gonna go ahead and just use a regular CPU fan. I have another one from Be Quiet that I can actually use, but let's go ahead and actually set up the RAM inside of this PC now. The RAM did arrive. It is the Trident Z DDR4 RAM. I believe this is a 32 gig RAM, so let's go ahead and install this thing, which should be pretty easy since, I mean, this is literally just RAM. All right, we're gonna go ahead and actually place the RAM inside of the 2nd and 4th slot. Let's go ahead and just slide this thing right in. Not the best idea to actually try to do this while the PC is vertical, but, and yeah, boom, there we go. We have the first RAM slot installed. You guys can see it's on the 2nd slot. Now let's go ahead and place it on the 4th slot. These are 2 sticks of 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM, and they do have RGB, so this is definitely gonna look really cool too. And there we go, we have the RAM installed just like that. Super easy. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the power supply. This is the Be Quiet Dark Power 13, and this power supply actually has 1,000 watts, so there's a ton of power from this power supply, but it also is really silent. Since this entire PC is mostly made up of Be Quiet components, which is definitely going to be really good since gaming PCs tend to become really loud and also overheat really easily. But the thing with setting up the power supply, it's honestly my most hated part of building a PC, just because there's so many wires and stuff that actually connect directly to the power supply. But yeah, here it is. We have the power supply from Be Quiet. This is the Dark Power 13. This thing is actually really heavy, but it looks like a really cool power supply, that's for sure. And then inside we should also have all the cables that connect directly to the power supply. That's basically gonna go with the motherboard as well. So yeah, this is gonna be a huge hassle. You guys can see there are a ton of wires. Okay, so now I have the power supply screwed inside of the PC case. You guys can see it's actually really easy to actually just screw it in. You actually just align it with the area where you place the power supply, and then just go ahead and screw that thing right onto the case. And also opening the back panel of this PC case, I did also realize how organized the pre-installed case fans are, all already connected to like this RGB hub. And I'm pretty sure all of it actually aligns to just one SATA cable, so it's actually really easy to just plug in directly into the power supply. But for the first wire that I'm going to be using with this power supply for the motherboard, it is like this really big one. You guys can see this thing is like a 16 pin or whatever. So let's go ahead and actually plug it directly into the power supply first. Now that I think of it, I should definitely put all these cables onto the power supply before I even screw in the power supply, but oh well. So yeah, the motherboard connector goes right over here where it says motherboard. Boom, just like that, we have it connected to the power supply, and then this other end will go directly onto the motherboard. Okay, so I have all the connectors I need plugged into the power supply now. This one right here is for the CPU power. This one right here is for my graphics card. And obviously we have the motherboard connectors right over here. I'm also going to be using this SATA cable to actually connect to these case fans, so they actually have RGB. So let's go ahead and actually first mount the power supply onto the PC case now. Honestly, connecting all these connectors to the power supply was definitely really easy. Okay, so now I have all the connectors connected to the power supply as well as the motherboard. You guys can see we have the 24-pin motherboard connector connected to the motherboard, as well as this connector right here, which actually goes into the CPU. And honestly, only the first time I ever built a gaming PC where the connectors were super confusing. But you guys can also see I have all these SATA cables connected to the pre-installed case fan. The back of this PC is looking definitely really rough right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and deal with cable management afterwards. But you guys can see it all is connected into the power supply, which is this right over here. And honestly, it was definitely really easy. And while I actually figure out how to actually connect this AIO to the brackets, I'm gonna go ahead and install the graphics card inside this PC now, which once again is a really easy part to actually install. So this entire PC so far is running really smoothly to actually build. I have everything connected as well as the cables that came with the case. You guys can see I have all the audio cables connected as well as this USB cable connected. Super easy process so far, but let's go ahead and install the graphics card. Okay, so for the graphics card inside of this gaming PC build, what I have over here is the RX 7800 XT, which is a really good graphics card paired with the CPU I have. Since this graphics card will allow the gaming PC to actually run really well at 1440p, which is the resolution that I actually play on, so this is perfect. So let's go ahead and set up this graphics card inside of the PC now. Super easy. We're first going to take out these brackets on the side of the PC case, just so we can go ahead and mount the graphics card onto the PC case afterwards. Now that we actually have those brackets out, we can go ahead and just slide the graphics card onto the PCIe slot. So let's go ahead and just slide this thing right in. And boom, just like that, we have the graphics card installed inside of this PC now. You guys can see this RX 7800 XT does look really nice inside of this build. All we gotta do is just screw in these brackets back onto the PC case so that the graphics card doesn't move around or anything like that. Okay, so I actually figured out the problem with the AIO. The bracket wasn't screwed high enough. You guys can see I used some stuff to actually elevate it a little bit higher so that we can actually install the AIO now. But before actually installing AIO, let's go ahead and put some thermal paste onto the CPU, since we obviously will need thermal paste to cool it down. And usually with thermal paste, I actually put it with this X format. That is definitely not good. A lot of thermal paste just squirted right out. So let me go ahead and actually set it up with the X. And yeah, there we go. We have the thermal paste installed onto the CPU. And then from there, we're gonna go ahead and install the actual AIO now. Just go ahead and align all these screws with the bracket itself. Once that is aligned, we can go ahead and just screw the AIO right in. But yeah, now that the AIO is actually installed inside of this PC, I mean, this PC is literally done now. I mean, I connected all like the cables connecting to the AIO. The case fans were already pre-installed. So all the RGB and like the connectors that actually make the fan spin are literally already connected as well. Taking a look at the back of this PC, you guys can see it's definitely pretty messy, but these RGB hubs right here came with the PC case, and all the cables connecting to the RGB of the fans are already connected. So that definitely helped a lot. Be Quiet in their cases are definitely really helpful. I'm not sure if all their cases come with pre-installed fans, but when they do, it's super nice since they have everything connected as well as everything organized, as you guys can see. But yeah, now all we gotta literally do is now just turn on this PC and hope it actually turns on. If it doesn't turn on, I don't even know, bro. I literally don't even know, but let me first go ahead and put back the back panel so I can clear up this mess from the back of this PC. Okay, moment of truth. We're gonna go ahead and plug in this gaming PC. And hopefully this thing turns on. I literally used no YouTube tutorial videos this time, since this is my third time building a gaming PC. So I literally went with every knowledge I used in the past to build this thing. So far, great sign. The motherboard is lighting up. Hopefully I don't have any like RAM issues, anything like that. But let's go ahead and turn this thing on. Please turn on. Okay, where's the art? Oh, yo. That looks fire. That looks crazy. Oh my. Right now, all it has is just orange RGB, but oh my, this PC actually looks amazing. Literally amazing, bro. Like, we have the AIO lighting up with the fans. Everything is connected to one RGB header, so all the RGB is gonna be synced. But let me go ahead and connect this thing to a monitor and see if we even have any display at all. So far, there's no problems with this thing at all, so I think we should be in the clear. Okay, so you guys can see I connected the monitor to this gaming PC, and so far, there's literally no signal at all. From the PC, it looks like everything's going fine. And also with this PC, there's like RGB lighting on the side, which is definitely really, really cool. And it literally just goes all the way up entirely on this PC case. This Be Quiet PC case is actually looking really, really nice. Definitely one of my favorite PC case I've ever seen. And yeah, the RGB just goes all around this PC case. Quiet logo also lights up, which is definitely really cool. So far, it looks like there's literally no display coming out of this monitor. I mean, the PC looks like there's no problem at all. You guys can see the light is white. Orange, that means there's like RAM problems and stuff, but so far there's just no display. I'm gonna go ahead and plug in like a keyboard and mouse, move it around and see if it's like on idle mode or something like that. And boom, just like that, we actually have a display now, meaning I actually set up this PC really, really easily. I'm actually really, really proud of it. I'm not gonna lie. I literally used no tutorials at all. Third time building a PC, it went really, really smoothly. But what it's saying right here is that it detected a new FTPM firmware. Not sure what that means, but I'm gonna go ahead and press on Y to actually reset it. So I can go ahead and get my recovery keys, because if not, I don't have a recovery key, I believe. Let me go ahead and actually look online and see what the perfect option is and see how this actually all works out. And yeah, there we go. You guys can see we have this startup screen, and all I need to do now is plug in this USB drive, which actually has Windows 11 installation inside. So we can go ahead and download Windows 11 onto this gaming PC. But yeah, there you go, you guys, which is what actually shows up every time you build a new gaming PC. This PC is actually really, really quiet as well, since most of the parts are coming from Be Quiet, which I will also have linked in the description. But Be Quiet cases, the Be Quiet fans, the Be Quiet AIO, everything just looks really, really good for this PC build. And I'm pretty sure I can go ahead and change the RGB, I believe. Yeah, that looks really, really nice. There's actually a lot of like RGB options. Ooh, bro, these colors are really, really bright and vibrant. That actually looks really nice. But yeah, let's go ahead and plug in this USB drive. I can go ahead and download Windows 11. And oh my, this RGB lighting actually looks really, really good on this case. This Be Quiet case is just really, really nice to begin with. And now all I gotta do is press F1, and I believe it should just run the USB drive. But oh my, just admire this PC, bro. Just admire this thing. It looks so good. I might honestly in the future place more fans on this bottom area right here. But for now, this PC just looks absolutely gorgeous. All right, bro, I'm just glazing this thing too much. Let's go ahead and set up Windows 11 now. Okay, so now the gaming PC is fully set up. And also I did change the RGB on this PC to like this rainbow, which definitely looks really, really good. But now for the moment of truth, the max FPS this insane Be Quiet gaming PC could actually get. This PC is running a really, really crazy 680 to 700 FPS right now. And the performance is definitely really, really consistent. My bro, a fresh gaming PC is literally like the best. There's literally like no input delay at all. Since the PC is new, there's literally like nothing taking up your storage. You don't need to free up your RAM, nothing like that. So the PC is literally running at its best and most fastest performance. We're still getting about like 650 FPS as I'm building. So I mean, you guys can tell this PC is definitely really crazy. And obviously, since this PC is mostly made up with Be Quiet PC components, not only are you getting a really fast gaming PC, you're also getting a really silent PC, which is definitely really helpful since a lot of gaming PCs tend to overheat and then it gets super loud. But with all these insane PC parts picked out by Be Quiet, this PC is both slim, sleek, silent, and fast. Everything about this PC is just insane. And I just love the RGB that's also coming from this PC. It just looks amazing. So yeah, once again, you guys can check out Be Quiet, which will be linked in the description as well as the pinned comment. And without Be Quiet, this video would not be possible. We're literally still running 650 FPS with like little to no latency, no delay, no frame drops. Like this PC is just crazy, bro. This has to be like one of the best gaming PCs I've ever built. Literally can also run any game you want to. And looking at the max FPS we're getting in an actual game, you guys can see on the battle bus we're running about like 800 FPS, but even landing in, we're still running about like 300 to 400 FPS. And it's even getting closer to 500 FPS right now. So yeah, we're still running about like 550 FPS. 550 FPS on this PC, bro. We got a crazy PC that does not overheat, is super silent, and runs crazy performance, bro. This is the dream PC. And the specs aren't even like the best where like the performance is like crazy good. But regardless, like the PC is still like crazy fast. Like the PC is insane, bro. Oh my, I missed. 200? And yeah, definitely for my third time ever building a gaming PC, there was like little to no problems with building the PC at all. I was like surprised myself that I built this PC that quick. It literally took only about like 4 hours total compared to like the first time I ever built a gaming PC, which took like a day and a half. This guy's not real. This guy's not real. Yeah, we're still running about like 500 FPS right now in an actual game. It's like super, super consistent. I don't see it dropping below like 450 FPS. What the heck is going on? 200? 200? What the heck? No! I almost sold. Oh my God, I almost sold. Yeah, the PC is just definitely running super, super smooth right now. There's like no problems with this PC at all. Literally no problems, no frame drops, no latency, no delays. It's perfect. This PC is absolutely perfect. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh no, that's broken. Oh my God. Oh my, just swarm in, bro. Who cares, bro? They're not gonna do anything. 40. $200. 44. 200. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's like no delay. Oh, there's another guy. There's literally like no delay. 49. 200. 200. Oh. What is going on? What is going on? There's no delay. No way you're coming back. No way you're coming back. No way you're coming back. 200. Oh my. Oh my. We're literally running a smooth 500 FPS. Literally smooth. This PC could actually run anything. This PC could actually run anything you freaking want, bro. Oh, and there's people sending me friend requests. 35. Oh. Oh my God. Oh my. Gold spaz. I'll take that. Bro, the footage literally cut out. I was going crazy on this PC. Literally going crazy, bro. What I had 18 kills and I clipped literally like 4 kids back to back at the end with the spaz. Like this PC is crazy. I'm actually pissed it didn't record, but let's go, bro. GG's.